This week 16 matchup is between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans, who were the victors of two of the most exciting games in week 15. The Browns were inches away from losing against the Chicago Bears off a Hail Mary pass that just slipped through Darnell Mooney's hands, while the Houston Texans needed their kicker Kaim Fairburn to make a 54-yard field goal to win the game and not just tie against the Tennessee Titans. Huge for both these teams' playoff potential, playoff chances, as the Browns are currently the 5th seed in the AFC Wild Card hunt at 9-5, while the Texans are just outside the playoffs right now due to tiebreakers and everything, but are sitting at 8-6 and still in a very good spot to make the playoffs. And Ryan, just want to throw it over to you here immediately. The Browns, no matter what keeps happening to this team, they still just find ways to win. What are your overall thoughts on Joe Flacco, this Browns team, and also some of their objectives to going on the road and beating the Houston Texans this week?
Well, first off, Joe Flacco did not look good for 50 minutes of football, but in the fourth quarter turned it around and made some incredible throws, got the ball to his playmakers, and they were able to get the Browns in position to win that game. That was an incredible game and a great fourth quarter performance by Joe Flacco and the Browns offense. I like this Browns team. They fight so hard. They get after the passer, and they make plays in key situations that they have to make, right? When their back's against the wall, they 9 times out of 10, I feel like they're coming out with those plays being made. And then on top of that, I think you look at this Texans team, and they are just riddled with injuries, right? CJ Stroud, concussion. Tank Dell's done for the year. Nico Collins has a calf strain. And Stroud and Collins could be coming back this week, but after missing a few weeks, this is not a defense that I would want to be making a return against. And I like this Texans defense too. D'Amico Ryans has these guys playing so well. They're getting after the passer really well. Derek Stingley is a top corner in the NFL right now, and it is really impressive how they have gone from one of the worst defenses in the league last year to being this good. All in because of D'Amico Ryans coming in and making these changes. So
it's you kind of forget about Derek Stingley Jr. because of Sauce Gardner and his hype, and then everything that he brought to the table. And then Stingley was hurt a little bit last year as well. But you forget, like, they picked Stingley over Sauce Gardner with the 3rd overall pick in 2022. So he's got a lot of talent there. There's a lot of defensive talent on this team, a lot of offensive talent as well. It's a shame that Tank Dell broke his leg, unfortunately. And hopefully Nico Collins can come back. And Stroud wasn't a concussion protocol, but hopefully he's able to come back this week against this Browns team. They're going to need him too. Nothing against Case Keenum, but they need CJ Stroud to come back if they want to keep trying to make the playoffs. But it's going to be very unique here as well. The Texas team has been one of the main surprises of the season so far. It's definitely still to the playoff hunt. Also, too, that being said, the Browns are still one of actually surprises as well with all the injuries that they've had. Not controversy this season, so to say, but just the fact of just getting Deshaun Watson in his first full season, then his lack of performance, how are they going to play? And then they're still able to find these wins. And it's one of the things, too, we were talking a little bit about today while we were watching all the games. I think you can maybe make an argument here. I want to go and pull up his exact stats, so to say, but you can make an argument for like all this MVP talk, but like for Myles Garrett, I think having just the season he's had, he's been the face of the consistent face of the franchise, and he seems like he is always having just a ginormous impact on every single game. 13 sacks so far on the season. Don't know how many QB hits are. He has 26 QB hits so far, almost nearly double than the next guy on the team. He's been the face of this team and the face of this defensive front, and going out and getting Darius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, and then also Jordan Elliott as well. That has been the heart and soul of this Browns team, and the reason why I think they've been so successful. They've won some nasty games. Even like today, I would say was a nasty game. No reason they should have won this game, but defense kept them in it. Scrappy victory, a lot of scrappy victories, I think, led by this defense. So I think they're going to need to have another one here on Sunday, especially too if CJ Stroud comes back. With them being 8-6, Nico Collins is having a breakout season, and so is CJ Stroud as well. What do you think? What do you think CJ Stroud and this company and this office company has to do? Do you think they just need to just try and blow it wide open, or just try and survive against this Browns defense?
I would like to say blow it wide open, but without Nico Collins and Tank Dell, I don't think you have the ability to just blow it wide open. So I think you're going to have to just play the conservative field position game, rely on your defense to make some key stops, try to establish the run, which I know is going to be extremely difficult against this. I almost said Dallas Cowboys. This Cleveland Browns defense, and that for me is like you're not going to be able to really run the ball for significant yards, but I think you just need to keep this defense honest and make them have to leave 6 guys in the box and do that rather than try to actually run for yards, because I don't think you're really going to be able to do that. And then survive. Don't make the crucial turnovers that Will Levis made in today and giving them short fields. Or did he throw a pick 6 or did he just give them short fields? I think he gave him a couple short fields.
The Titans had a pick 6 today.
Yeah. And that for me, I think is just going to be the key here, because I don't think this offense is going to have the weapons to really be super explosive.
And it's going to be such a fun game. It's so many good playoff implication type games this weekend in week 16. But let's get into our predictions here. But before we do that, if you're still with us, thank you. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified when we release new videos. We're trying to get to 2,333 subscribers. And the reason why we chose that unique number is that if we hit that number within this calendar year, we would have got 2,000 new unique subscribers within this calendar year. So we're trying to get that by New Year's Day. We're about 130 away. So we're going to need a lot of help. So like, subscribe, help us reach our goal. And Ryan, who do you have winning this game and why?
So I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think they're the better defense in this matchup. And I really like Houston. They should not have won the game today. I think Tennessee gave it away, and I think Cleveland is a much better version of what Tennessee is trying to be. And I just feel like Cleveland keeps finding ways to win these games. Like, I don't know why or how, but they just keep finding ways to end up with more points at the end. I also think receiver-wise, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, David Njoku, way better than I think anything that the Texans are going to be able to put out there with Tank Dell, and I highly doubt Nico Collins is going to be able to play with a calf strain.
He'll give it every single one of his goes. At all possible. But I was hoping you somehow would take the Texans, but I'm also going to go with Cleveland as well. I just think, just top to bottom, I just think that they're just a little bit of the better team. I will say the Browns, they're looking like they're essentially going to have a backup offensive line. Joel Bitonio. And so horrible with names.
It's probably still better than the Titans.
Probably, yeah. But it probably is definitely still better than the Titans. But there's a lot of injuries that have happened on this offensive line, yet they've still been able to overcome them. I'm just saying, I just bring that up because that is another one, just something to just keep an eye on, and we'll have to monitor his status. But in general, though, it's these teams, they just seem to keep finding a way to win. I think they'll be able to slow down this Texas offense, even if CJ Stroud and Nico Collins do play. I think not having Tank Dell, I think it's a big loss for that team, because he added a nice kind of slot dynamic where you can move Tank Dell around anywhere. And slot actually isn't even the right word. You can just move him around anywhere, so to say. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Cleveland, though, on this one. And I think it was also to a win here. I don't know if it would officially lock them up, but they would be borderline.
I think 10 wins, they would be locked in a playoff spot. Because you have to think Texans would be 8-6, and they would have a tiebreaker. They have the tiebreaker over the Colts. They shouldn't, but they do.
I think it just depends on overall, because they do still play the Bengals one time. So it would officially have a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting one. We're both taking the Browns, but I think this is going to be a really close matchup. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe and help Tyler reach that goal of getting to 2,333 subscribers. While you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Cleveland Browns or the Houston Texans? And other than that, we will see you guys next time.